Welcome to the Hanford Dixon Show. I'm Gabriella Kreuz alongside the top dog. I don't think it's a huge surprise probably to anyone about our current record, although we have been hoping for much better and a bigger turnaround. Just couldn't quite get it done over the weekend against the Eagles. Hanford.
Do you feel the way I feel? I mean, it's just like
a little stale.
Yeah, I mean, a little stale, and it's just like something's missing. We're empty inside. This team just absolutely they're driving us crazy right now, because when you look at all the talent and everything we had and we have on this team, you would have told me we're going to be 1-5. I'd have said you've lost your damn mind.
Well, yes, based on paper, and that's such a cliche thing to say. I think we probably say that every year. On paper, we look like we're going to be very good, and that, of course, we know doesn't really matter. We'll get into the nitty-gritty about the game. Not too much, because we don't want it to be like all doom and gloom, but that being said, what were you up to this weekend? Because I know we were hustling. Even this morning, I was rushing in. My hair's everywhere. I'm trying to you're over here roasting me. And he's like, you're no fun today. I'm like, I got to do my freaking eye makeup. I've been working and running around all weekend. But honestly, so have you.
Well, you did a good job, Gab. We'll give you we'll give you credit. Pat and I, we on a 1 to 10, I guess we'll give you an 8. No, we'll give you 10. But anyway,
I was going to say you could use a haircut.
Well, I get a haircut every week, so you know that. But it's funny because you asked me what have I been up to, and both of us again have been really, really busy. For instance, Saturday, this is what was crazy, Gab. Yeah. I jumped on a flight early afternoon, and I went to Philly, and I think I arrived in Philly somewhere around 2:30 or something like that, and I got there just in time because it was so funny. I went there, I sat at the bar, I ordered a Diet Pepsi, and I ordered, obviously, I'm in Philly, I have to have one of those Philly cheese sandwiches or steak or whatever the hell they want to call that stuff there. So I sit there, and on one TV to my right, the Guardians are playing right there to my right, and on another TV to my left, Roll Tide Alabama, Fama Jamma is on to the left. So I'm looking at Alabama. So I'm okay. So, but then I didn't like the way the Guardians game was going. Then I look over here and I don't like the way the Alabama game is going, and I'm not feeling too good right now.
Yeah.
So, and then the bases is loaded, and Ramirez get hit with the pitch, and I was really afraid. I was really afraid though at first, because I thought the way he got hit, I thought it really hurt him, because anytime that ball is coming 100 miles an hour, I don't care where it hit you at. I mean, that could really hurt you. So, but knowing Ramirez, I should have known better, because he's just a tough guy, and he's one of those guys who's going to take something really, really. Something to take him out of the game. He's not coming out of the game, is where I'm headed with this. So, and then the bases are loaded. And I had just said to myself, sitting there at the bar, I said, wouldn't it be nice if Lane Thomas just hit a grand slam? And what happens? This damn guy hits a grand slam, and here I am. People thought I was crazy sitting at the bar. Gab, can you imagine me jumping up, screaming, and hollering right there at the bar?
Yes, I can. As a matter of fact, I can.
Yeah.
Actually,
guys, I'll jump in here too. Where does that Lane Thomas home run rank for you in all-time home runs?
Oh.
Were you around, Gab, for the Rajay Davis home run?
Yeah, that was my first season, and I actually filmed both at-bats. I filmed Rajay's at-bat, and I filmed Lane's, because I don't know if people know this about me, I do have a sixth sense about when good things are going to happen. So much so, I'm not making this up. You can ask my coworker. My phone died because I was a little less prepared once they moved the game up 7 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm hustling to get to the ballpark by 8 a.m. I forgot a phone charger. My phone dies right before this at-bat.
That's not like you.
And
I'm serious.
No, he's being silly, because that actually is very like me. My phone's always dying. It's just like last on my priority list. But and I can't find my little card to beep into the scoreboard room. That's like typical me.
Yeah.
But my phone dies right before this at bat, and I go to one of the person shading for us in ballpark camera, and I was like, "Hey Ben, could I borrow your phone to record this at bat? I just feel like something good's gonna happen." So I grab his phone. He's like, "Yeah." And I'm hustling to the window that, for context, we're behind home plate. We're right below where the media box is, actually, our scoreboard room. I hustle to the window, and I catch it right in time. And I'm, like, doing the best pan job of my life. The place is going wild. I'm, like, zooming in. You can see Jose skip and fist pump in the air.
Yeah,
and then I zoom
yeah.
around into, like, Lane coming across home plate and the fans and everything. It was a crazy moment there at the ballpark. I will say that's got to be the loudest I've heard it since Rajay's home run.
Yeah, to answer your question, it's got to be like top 5 for me. It was just an unbelievable moment. And then still sitting there because I had a car that was going to pick me up at 5:00. So I fixed this so I can just sit there and watch the game in the airport.
Yes.
Because I didn't have to be where I had to be until 6:30, 6 o'clock. So check this out. So I'm sitting there, and we almost looked like they wanted to come back on us. And I was just all upset because, and then you look at Alabama game, Alabama's giving the game away, to South Carolina. They, let them score, and then they go for an onside kick. Then they recover the onside kick, and then they almost beat Alabama. So the game was over at Alabama. Alabama won. Now I'm back on the Guardians. And let me tell you something. When those Guardians won that game, I was just so excited. I didn't get a chance to see.
Emmanuel Clase.
Well, I did. Well, I know he came in.
You got to give this dude credit. Because,
well, he pitched. How many outs did he get?
Well, first he had
6?
the first 6-out save of his career.
Uh-huh.
So to put this into context, he gets completely bested by Carpenter. He hasn't given up more than one run all season long. He gives up that 3-run bomb.
That bomb, yeah.
To
Carpenter.
Kerry Carpenter in Game 2. Then Clase comes back. Game 4, he was super clutch. Game 5, he was super clutch. I mean, he just kept elevating his game because he had the 5-out save the night before, and then the 6-out save was Game 5, and that's the most of his career. So, I mean, he just had the final say. Like, he deserves a Cy Young. This guy could be the first reliever in 20 years to win the Cy Young.
Well, here's the thing that really kills me because, we have the best bullpen in baseball. I mean, without a doubt we have. But you guys know.
Lowest relief ERA in Major League Baseball. It's like a 2.54.
Yeah, and Pat, the more they see the bullpen, they can figure them out pretty much. And they were starting to figure out our bullpen because there's a lot of wear and tear on those guys. I mean, they've been out there and they've been out there and they've been out there. But to see Classier come in, like you said,
I'm sorry, what?
Get
Classier.
whatever.
Now we're gonna say it like that.
So like Cartier, the watches.
Yeah.
He's more than Class A. He's Classier.
Classier.
After that performance,
it's
but
French.
For him to get 6 outs is just unbelievable.
A clean 3-up, 3-down, baby.
So
we needed him most.
So what I do after the game, I go jump in the car, and then I had a Browns-Packers event in Philly, at downtown Philly, right by the what's that stadium? It's called Lincoln, or what's that?
It used to be the Link.
What? Anyway, right down from that stadium, I could see the stadium at this little bar restaurant that I was at, and I'm telling you, Browns fans was just everywhere there. I mean, just literally packed in there. So I sit there and I signed autographs, took pictures and I was sitting there drinking another diet, and you thought I had a beer or something because someone came over and they were drunk, and then they missed. They were trying to step up on the step and missed the step and grabbed the table while I was sitting there, and then there is this drink all over me, so I'm all sticky, and I'm like, what the hell? But then I jump on a plane. I go back to the airport. I got a 9:10 flight out of Philly back to Cleveland. Yeah. I get back to Cleveland pretty late, and then I leave there because I have to get up early. And then Sunday I got to do a pregame show, and then I got to go to a little place in. Let's give that place in Lakewood. I think you're going to be there. What's the name of that place? We'll give it a little
Lakewood
shout out.
Truck Park.
Yeah, guys, we had some watch parties for the Guardians at Lakewood Truck Park.
Yep.
They're going to be there all week this week for all of the playoff games. Jensen Lewis out there, Gabriella Kreuz, Nick Padone, Dave McAllister, Big Play Dave. But make sure you get out there. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Really good vibes out there. Good food trucks
Awesome
as well.
vibes.
And that was my first time at this place, and it's pretty nice place. So I was there yesterday, and then after that, I just went went home, and I was just like, oh, I take that back. I had to go out to Avon Lake to another place, so I went out there. But after that, I went home, and then you guys call me. Always good to hear from you guys. But Gab, I had a long day, and like you said, like you, we're both grinding and trying to get it done.
We were both grinding out the weekend. We will be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. It's time for our Browns headlines, brought to you by Northeast Factory Direct. And we want to talk a little bit of offense here. What I was interested in, Hanford and Pat, were you okay with Stefanski kicking that field goal on the last drive? Cleveland was down 7 on the 13-yard line with 3:54 left. All 3 timeouts. Had 3rd and goal from the 3, then went the false start, incomplete false start, 31-yard field goal.
I didn't have a problem with it. At that point, I just thought we needed something. We needed some points on the board, and because again, my big thing is 20 points. I mean, we have to get to that number at some point. Check out this right here, guys. We are the first team in 10 years to score under 20 points in each of the first 6 games of the season. I mean, and it's been 10 years. I mean that is crazy. Now, Cleveland, I mean, we have scored only once in the last 29 drives. Only once. I mean, these numbers are, and we expect to win football games, and we do not still. This is what, the 6th game of the season. We still do not have a 200-yard passing game. I mean, come on. You got to be kidding me. And we're still getting sacked at a high rate. Pat, how many we had? 5 or 6? It was something like that. It was 5 or 6 sacks again. And what's killing us, guys, is 3rd down. I mean, we are putting ourselves in such a bad position on 3rd down. And what happens? How do you get there? 1st and 2nd down. You don't. If we get some yardage on 1st down, we get some yardage on 2nd down. Then we're going to come back. We have a penalty, and that put us behind the 8 ball. So we're averaging somewhere at least like 3rd and 8 on 3rd down, and as a result, it's killing us. I mean, I think last week, I think we went against Washington. I want to say we were like 1 for 13 or 0 for 13 or something like that on 3rd down. And guys, you can't win like that. I mean, this offense is just suck. Bill Callahan is just somewhere right now, and he's looking at this offensive line. And he's,
I'm sorry, I wasn't ready for you to be like, well, it
just sucks.
Yeah, he said this offensive line suck. I mean, it's just a mess right now. And then we just had another injury. Didn't we lose, I think, Nick?
Nick Harris, I believe, came up injured as well. But Hanford, to your point, last week the Browns Commanders, they were 1 for 13 on 3rd down, 3 of 12 yesterday against the Eagles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 1 for 13. You can't, because what happens is, and I don't care. As a defense, and I talked about it last week, I talked about the defense and the offense, how you look at each other, you give each other those little looks coming in and off the field. Right. And, meaning like, what the hell are you guys doing? I mean, come on, you can't just expect us to go out and hold them every single series, because these guys are professionals too. These guys are a good team. But, man, we got problems on this team. We have problems on this team, and we have to address it, and we have to address it fast. You know what I thought? Yeah. We set up here at the beginning of the season, we said that the AFC North was going to be the best division in football. And right now, that's looking like it's the NFC North. Because when you look at the NFC North, every team in the NFC North right now have a winning record. And when you look at the AFC North, every team pretty much, other than you got the Baltimore Ravens and then the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cincinnati. Oh, guys, by the way, one team in the AFC North, all 3 teams won except one. Who do you guys think that team was that didn't win?
You said all 3 teams
in the AFC North, all the teams won except one team. Who do you think the one team was?
Listen, I was busy with baseball, but was it the
those
Steelers?
Cleveland Browns?
Oh,
only one. You know it was those Cleveland.
Me fantasizing about other people losing. Yeah, that's a tough.
Yeah, guys, when you talk about those numbers of below 200 passing yards, below 20 points, the winless Cleveland Browns, 1-15, the 0-16 Browns, they scored 20 points in a game. I've never seen a fan base like this. I've never seen a team like this. I mean, I'm only 28 years old, so I haven't seen that many Browns teams since they came back, but I have to imagine this is one of the worst feelings that the Browns have had since they came back, Hanford.
Well, yeah, and people want to give Deshaun Watson a hard time. I mean,
I
he's
was going to ask you about passing yards because what was it, only 46 at the half? At
the half, we only had 46 passing yards. Deshaun is part of the problem. Listen to this. I was looking at before this game yesterday, and I was trying to figure out some of Deshaun's stats and going back to last year. And in 5 full games started by him last year, he averaged around 26 points a game. 26 points a game. This year, again, never scored more than 18 points in a game. And, I mean, guys, when you look at it, we rank nearly last in every category. As far as this is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It make me want to pull out my hair, and I don't have any hair. So that's how crazy it is with this football team.
I guess it seems obvious, but what are some of the immediate things you would change?
Well, and they're not going to like this. I mean, I don't know. As far as Stefanski, we're not in those meeting rooms, so we don't really know. Are we still running his system? Are we running Dorsey's system? And if we're running Dorsey's system, how much control does he have in the play calling? Or is it just Stefanski calling the play calling? See, it's just these are things that we don't know that we need answers to. And I just know one thing. I'm not ready to give up on this football team yet. I'm not ready to give up on them yet. I still think that with all the talent that we have on this team, I still think that we can come back and we can make a run for this thing. But we got to do it now. I mean, we can't wait anymore because when you look at it, and I'm not an analytics guy, but when you look at it, the analytics tell you when you start a season the way we've started right now, 1-5, your chances to make the playoffs are pretty much slim to none. And but we have to believe that we can still do it. I mean, I really do. So and defense scored. I mean, defense did what they had to do. They scored a touchdown for us, and we still couldn't get 20 points.
Yeah, defense held Philadelphia to 3.2 yards per carry. Hurts was 16 for 25, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, but he did get sacked once.
And on defense, well, we have the problem, guys. We have a problem whenever we're playing that quarterback that runs that RPO. I mean, when he can run it, he can pass it, or he could pull that football. We have problems with those quarterbacks. Washington had the same kind of quarterback, and we haven't played Lamar yet. Mm-hmm. That's what's crazy. We haven't played Lamar Jackson.
He said we haven't.
And are we going to go around the AFC North? I mean, are we going to do the next segment, or shall we hit that?
Yeah, we got the next segment. But guys, that defense, the Browns, they scored against the Raiders. They scored last week. The Commanders, you kind of have to throw it away, but that defense is balling. Yeah. Like they're playing better than this record would indicate. It's just the offense.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna pull my hair out. Let's take a break.
Yeah, we
please.
can talk about the penalties
please.
too, but I think we need a break.
Please, let's
we'll
take a break.
We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. It is time for our Lipton Hard Iced Tea hard hit of the game, and we are bringing in producer Pat. We've all got the same hard hit this week.
Yeah, guys, there's only really one that we could have, and it was the Myles Garrett blocked field goal. Rodney McLeod returned it for a touchdown. That was just about as much as the offense did for the Browns. But
big highlight of the game.
That was a big highlight of the game. But what do you guys think? Myles Garrett, I mean, he's the best player in the league, right? Best defensive player in the league, blocking a field goal and returning it for a touchdown. That's the only hard hit we got.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it was funny too. I mean, we really needed a play too then, guys. We really need to play because we were down 10-3 at the time, and Myles just took it upon himself to just say, the hell with this. I need to do something in this ball game. I need to help this team out. And boy, did he. I mean, he just like, I didn't know his vertical was that that
right?
high. He just
for as big as he is.
Right, as big as he is, just boom right over and just blocked it.
I keep thinking about what he said in an interview a couple weeks back. People might have been talking about, you're a little banged up out here, how you doing? And he's like, I'm going to play. I'm going to play through it. Yeah, I'm not perfect. But he said something to the effect of, also, the wounded animal is the fiercest, or something like that. And I was like, wow, I love where his head is at. It doesn't matter if he doesn't feel 100%. It doesn't matter that we haven't started this season the greatest. It doesn't matter that we're down by a touchdown. This guy is bringing it on every play, and got to give him so much credit.
Well, you like Miles' head because he have hair, and you talk about my head because I don't have any hair. But anyway.
I like your no-hair head.
But guys, wasn't it also, Pat, Gabby, Rodney McLeod, 57-yard, returned it for a touchdown. And, that had to be make him really, really happy because I didn't know that he had some ties with this football team. So good for him. It was just an overall big play, and that was our Lipton Hard Iced Tea hit the game. And I think it was good, though. All of us, we were talking about it. And each and every one of us, we all agreed upon the same thing. So it was just that was just awesome, guys.
Yeah. What are we gonna segue and talk about all the things that went wrong?
We have to at some point address this offense. Obviously, we have to address the defense too. But this offense, I going into this game, and Pat, how much time we have before we take a break? Do we have a few minutes? Okay, going into this game, guys, I said to myself, I said the key to this game for me is going to be that we have to score at least 20 or more points, at least 20 or more points to win this game, and it came right down to that. Obviously, we didn't score 20, and we didn't win. Our offense has just been so out of sync. I just don't like it when you look at Deshaun, and we have 11. We have 12 men on the field. He's got to walk off. We have to call a timeout. We can't get lined up right. Whenever we get lined up right, we have men moving in motion, 2 or 3 men at one time, which is a penalty. And we have holding, and it's just been a disaster with this offensive football team. And I don't know if obviously we have Stefanski calling the plays, but Dorsey, this is his system that we're trying to put in, and it's just not working, guys. It's just it's crazy, and we still have guys dropping passes. We can't seem to establish a running game. I think Ford got hurt during the course of the ball game. So Pierre Strong came in. I thought he did pretty good because he had like 8 carries for 43 yards, and then he had another 2 catches for 35 yards. So I think he demands a little bit more feels for the football, but we just got to get it going. And it's just not happening right now.
Yeah, Hanford, I got a question for you too. Talking about the Browns defense with Rodney McLeod returning that blocked field goal for a touchdown. What do you do as a defense when you're on your heels the whole game? The offense can't move the football. You're on the field. Time of possession was really brutal for the Browns on Sunday. What do you do as a defense? What are you saying in the huddle?
Well, the problem with our defense right now, we're giving up too many big plays. That's really, really hurting our defense because when we give up the yardage, we're giving them up in chunks because you could see again, obviously they called another big touchdown pass on Emerson, and I got to talk to him a little bit because I think where he's getting into trouble is he's letting the wide receiver have a free release off the ball, and you just can't do that because these guys are just too fast and they're big and they're strong, and once they get that released on you, then you're in trouble. And then Greg Newsome also, he's given up some big plays, and I don't know whether Denzel Ward, I saw him out of the game a few times. He was taking some plays off. And I don't know whether he was just gassed or he was tired or whether or not his hamstring was bothering him because, we had a question mark going in this game whether or not he was going to play or not because we know his hamstring was strained a little bit. But he played pretty much the majority of the game. But as a defense, you got to tackle better and you got to stop giving up the big plays because, it's just killing us. It's just absolutely killing us. You know what what scares me though now, and obviously JOK, he's just still playing at a high level. But do you guys see now And when I played, we didn't do this as far as to create a fumble. Now what they would do is they'll take their fist. I don't know if you noticed this in the game, and they'll hit the ball with their fist and knock the ball out. I'm afraid that maybe they're going to break their wrist or something, or break a thumb or something, one of those things. So it's kind of crazy the way they're creating these turnovers right now. And it happened.
Hanford, you want to talk about a hard hit? Lipton hard iced hard hit of the game. Talk about that, punching the ball out.
Yeah. He's just like bang, just rear up and just hit it. And then I'll be afraid that maybe the official will call a penalty, because you're never supposed to just rear back and punch something. So, but I don't know. I'm just so frustrated with this team right now, Gab.
Well,
it's just crazy.
It's time for us to go out with a bang, only briefly. And we'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We're going to take a look around the AFC North, brought to you by our friends at Garage Beer. And I promise I know the teams in the AFC North.
You ever drink that beer?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
What do you mean? Have I drank the beer?
It's a pretty good beer.
Yeah, it is a pretty good beer.
Yeah, you know I'm picky about my beer, but Garage Beer is pretty good beer. I like it. So
I'm glad that you like it.
Why are you so mean to me today? You are just mean to me today.
No, I just wasn't ready for it. I was like, okay, I'm glad you like it. I'm so happy.
Oh God, go ahead. I'm not talking to you.
No, you're silly. You like the green one, or I'm sorry, the lime one.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gab. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I do know the AFC North teams, because you're
we don't have Angry Ken is not here. You know, that's his favorite beer, Garage Beer. Angry Ken loves that Garage Beer. You know,
you call me angry. That's the guy who's angry.
Boy,
he probably had 13 Garage Beers.
Boy, can you imagine if he was here today? Oh my goodness!
I think I can hear him all the way from Portugal.
Right.
He's literally, he actually is across the.
He is angry wherever he is right now.
Yeah. That we should probably tell people that's why we don't have Angry Ken here today.
Yeah.
But you were bruising me earlier, or you weren't even meaning to. I think your rhetorical question just went over my head when you said one team in the AFC North lost, and I was like, huh. I hope the Steelers, because I didn't watch enough football this weekend because I was watching baseball. And it didn't occur to me that you were just poking fun at our home base here.
Yeah, you knew it was the Browns. You were just messing with me, so that's all right. You was just dogging me. That's all right. That's okay. That's okay. I forgive you. So
I was just messing with you.
That's right.
That's funny. No, I'm glad. At least we can find some humor on a day like today. We do want to look around the AFC North, and it's hard to compare here, but we are at the bottom. Where do you want to start? You want to look at the Bengals? They're 2-4. We got them coming. We'll be facing them at home.
Let's start with the Steelers.
Okay, you want to go Steelers?
Yeah, let's.
They're 4-2. Your Steelers. Well, not your Steelers.
You know what? I'm kind of shocked though. I didn't think playing against the Raiders. I thought the Raiders was going to beat them yesterday. I mean, I really did. But they hung in there. They showed some grit. I mean, they just Tomlin and his team. Every time the Raiders tried to do so, well, the Raiders. I have to say this. You know, they kind of beat themselves a little bit too, but you still have to give the Steelers a lot of credit. They won a game that they were supposed to win, and as a result, it keeps them right at the top of the AFC North. I mean, they're 4-2, and it was funny. It was kind of funny watching yesterday because Russell Wilson. I think this is the first time that he dressed yesterday, and it was good. I thought it was going to be interesting to see how that whole dynamic of the quarterback position play out yesterday with him being right there ready to go. So it was. You got to give him credit though.
Pittsburgh is the second best scoring defense in the NFL.
But listen to this:
14.3 points per game.
They have their own version of Myles Garrett in T.J. Watt. I mean. And again, he's the one. He's the one I'm talking about. Can punch that ball out anytime he wants to. I think he caused 2 fumbles yesterday and killed drives from the Raiders to help them win that ball game. So you got to give the Steelers a lot of credit. They're a good football team.
What do you think about the Steelers versus the Jets? That's who they'll be taking on. Jets are 2-3. Yeah, 2-3. And their offense has been really bad the last couple of weeks.
Again, that's another game that the Steelers should win, and a game that I think they will win. And again, their football team. See, one thing about the Steelers, though, they're just a well-coached team. Well-coached team.
You know who else is well-coached and your buddy's got an influence is your Baltimore Ravens.
Well, I could tell you this. That was the game of the week. That was a big, big game because, you're looking at Washington and what they did to us. And, again, they got Daniels, that quarterback, who's a lot like Lamar. And it was really a showdown between Daniels and Lamar in that ball game. And Lamar, do you guys know this? Lamar was going into that game. He's 6-0 against rookie quarterbacks. 6-0. But when you know Washington going into that game, they had the number one offense in points per game scoring. So it was a big, big task for that Ravens team and that Ravens defense to try to put a stop on him, especially when you look at their defense. They're missing a lot of key elements. They got a lot of players down, but that's okay. That's why I like the Baltimore Ravens, because they don't think about it. You talk about next man up. They really have that mentality of next man up. You got to jump in there. If it's your numbers call, you got to jump in there and help this football team. But it was a great, great football game. But Baltimore dominated that game. And Baltimore right now is number one in the AFC North. They're top of the division, and they beat a good football team. They've won four in a row, I think they have.
Yeah, 4 in a row, and I'll tell you what, too. It was a vintage Derrick Henry game. He had 24 carries for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Pat,
he looked like he was back in Tennessee.
Pat,
Nice.
I was getting to him. I mean, this guy. I mean, he's
Whoever
like
bet on Derrick Henry, they were winning big this past weekend.
He's a big bull.
He's a big part of that parlay.
Running there. What he had, about 123 yards, something like
132,
that. 132 rushing yesterday, and you said the 2 touchdowns. Whew. Oh God, Baltimore. Now when you pick your poison, talking about him and Lamar Jackson, and Lamar had over 323 yards or something like that passing, 1 interception, but I think he had a couple of touchdowns. Now. Here's where Baltimore is going to be really, really dangerous. What's the tight end, the big tight end?
They got Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews. When Mark Andrews now is starting, because he had a touchdown catch yesterday. Mark Andrews now is starting to get in the mix because, the first few games, I mean, he was missing in action. But now he's starting to get in the mix with that offense. And I'm telling you, Baltimore Ravens is going to be a beast coming down the stretch. A beast. Now let's talk about those Cleveland Browns, again at the bottom of the AFC North.
And we invite our Ohio rival, Cincinnati, the Bengals. They're 2-4. Joey B, my twin.
And see, I don't like it right now because the Bengals right now, we're catching the Bengals where they're starting to get hot. And that offense is starting to crank up. They're lacking a little bit on defense, but defense is starting to do what, just enough to get them by. But this offense is cooking with Joe Burrows right now. I mean, he's got Higgins, he's got Chase. Those guys right now, they're starting to put it together, and they're starting to pop. And Burrows, did you see the big long run that he had for a touchdown yesterday? I mean, he ran a touchdown for about 49 yards or 40-some yards yesterday. Who thought Burrow's wheels was like that? So
Giants have a good defense, too, so that was a heck of a run.
Yeah. So
Beat him on Sunday Night Football, 17-7.
So it's going to be interesting. But
he's an agile guy, but I guess that...
We don't have an easy one next week. I'll just say this. And just because they're playing in our house, they're still in Ohio, so they feel like they're at home.
I don't know if this does anything for you, but the Browns have won 9 of their last 12 games against Cincinnati.
That does nothing for me right now with this team.
Joe Burrow's 1-5 versus Cleveland. Does this help?
Yeah, that does nothing for me. I understand what you're saying.
2 versus the Bengals.
Right. Oh my God!
Listen, it's gonna be fine.
Some people say I'm no good.
No, he's silly. We have one more break.
I'm crazy.
We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. Now we're going to be bringing in a very special guest, thanks to our friends at Northeast Factory Direct. If you're looking to update your home, you've got to check out Northeast Factory Direct. They've got furniture, kitchen cabinets, hot tubs, mattresses, and more for way less than what you would pay at those expensive, fancy retail stores. You can also shop online at northeastfactorydirect.com or visit any of their stores in Cleveland, Euclid, Macedonia, or North Canton. And don't forget to ask about the Hanford Dixon bonus.
You gotta tell them about that bonus, because that bonus, you get a discount again when you tell them about that bonus. And also too, when you introduce our guest, he's not eligible for he can't.
You're ruling him out.
Right, we're ruling him out. So.
Okay, wow, what a way to start this thing off. Welcome in Mike. He's the president of one of our Browns backers chapters, Lancaster, or as you guys say, how do you pronounce it over there?
Lancaster. It's with
Lancaster.
the G.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, Mike. You know what? It's so funny because I'm just Gabby. Do we need to give him a razor or something and have him shave or something? I mean, what the hell's going on? I thought he was
beautiful.
You know what I thought?
Masterpiece.
I thought you were one of those Vikings. Because I watch those Vikings movies all the time. I thought he was one of those Vikings with that long beard right there.
The Guardians are in the playoffs and they're doing real well. That looks like one of them rally beards. One of the things that you keep until you win it all.
Okay, in that case, Mike, keep it right there. Don't you you do anything.
That's I only shave once a year, and that's at the end of the season, and then I grow it until we win.
All right.
Hey, Mike, tell us a little bit about your chapter.
Okay, the Glass City Browns backers, located in Lancaster, Ohio, named after the city's famous glass industry. We were the first ones to put a glass bulb on the Statue of Liberty when New York wanted to light that thing up. Also, we're known for the American flag, where a high school student back in the 50s designed the American flag and won the contest that Congress had put forth. So every time you look at an American flag, it was designed in Lancaster, Ohio.
Awesome.
Yay!
Well, that was well done. If you're not the official spokesperson, I'll be upset.
Oh, also, it's the home of General Sherman, the one that burnt Atlanta to the ground. So there's another fun fact. But back in 2018, when Baker Mayfield was drafted and brought a world of change to the Cleveland Browns, I was so excited that in 2019, sitting in my basement, because that's where my wife Rhonda sends me when she's tired of looking at me, I got on the Browns website and tried to find the local backer chapter in Lancaster. Well, there wasn't one. So on the Browns website, you have an opportunity of opening your own chapter. And lo and behold, I filled out what they wanted. They sent back a chapter guideline handbook. I signed it, and they said, hey, guess what? You are now a Browns backer chapter in Lancaster, Ohio. So we started out with about 10 members, which was the qualifying member limit in order to get a chapter. We met with Buffalo Wild Wings in Lancaster because I am a huge bar rescue guy. And I wanted to make sure that whatever watch party location we had would have top quality service, food, ample parking, and room for us. And Rhonda and I set up on the first day. And we actually had, which was really funny, Browns fans coming up to the table asking about the Browns backer chapter. And it looked like they had been in the closet for such a long time. I mean, the 1-31 season that we had, the 2 years without a winning team or a winning game, they were so excited about coming out and saying, hey, is it okay for us to start cheering? Sure. So we are now in our 5th year. We have over 318 members. We are the largest in Central Ohio. Yay!
Wow. Mike,
our first year we went ahead and signed up. We met with a lawyer. We got our nonprofit, so we are fully a nonprofit.
I saw that. You're 501c3, which, you have to jump through a couple hoops for that. So you guys meant business.
Oh, yeah. yeah, we meant business. And we developed a website, which is gcbb.us, if you want to get some more information about our chapter. We've also done bus trips together. But our primary charity, what we raise money for, is the Lancaster Youth Football. We feel that it's very important, especially in this day and age, to teach children how to be reliable on others and others to rely on you, and how to take correct directions from a coach and aid the youth in development of their character and honor and whatever else you want to throw in there. So, we've really taken a point to raise money for them. And the way we do that is we have a raffle at our watch parties. I always make sure that we have high quality raffled items. I actually, at the next watch party, I don't think you'll remember this, Hanford, but do you remember the convenience store chains?
Yeah.
That used to be in Ohio?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got you and Ozzie Newsome. I guess they were handing out posters, and I have an original signature on both yours and Ozzie's from 1987.
Whoa.
Well, goddamn, you get some money for that one, big dog. You know, anytime you got me in the Wizard of Oz on there, you get some money for that one now. hey, Mike, real quick, before we let you go, tell us about what's your thoughts on this team right now. Obviously, 1-5, Gabby, is not where we thought we were going to be at this stage in the season.
Right.
But Mike, give us your thoughts on this team right now, real quick.
Am I allowed to use bad language?
You know what, Hanford,
we have the best over there, Pat. You know, he can take care of all that. So you go ahead and do your thing.
Oh, that's one other thing. Next time in Cleveland, me, you, and Angry Ken at the Yard House. All right?
Okay.
And I'm buying. Yeah. The Cleveland Browns were established in 1946. And they are the team of the fans. They're supposed to represent the city. They're supposed to be full of honor. And they're supposed to do their best to show their best to us, because it's painful when you have to go up against a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and sit there and argue about how good we used to be. Now, I understand Stefanski's getting a lot of flack, which, don't forget, Dustin Fox came out with a story when Stefanski was hired that Stefanski would turn in his playbook on Friday to DePodesta, to Andrew Berry, to Jimmy Haslam, and the analytic department, and they would tell him what to call on Sunday. So I don't know how much of Stefanski we're actually getting. The quarterback situation, it seems like we have a lot of fantasy football people in the NFL and are picking players for their individual talents. I believe that you need to develop the whole team as one working unit. It worked for the Bad News Bears. Why can't it work for Cleveland, right? So I would actually ask Jimmy Haslam to hire me as a general manager. I will hire the 5 most meanest, toughest ex-Marine drill sergeants to put this team together.
Mike
We're
is
talking
resorting to drill sergeants.
Yeah.
We're here for it.
we have to let you go. We want to thank you. Gabby and I, we're going to do this segment every week now on our show where we're going to feature a Browns Backers Club. And Mike, thank you. You were the first one. Make sure you tell your better half that we said hello. And we thank you, Big Dog, for coming on with us.
Yeah, super great to hear from you, and just love your personality and charisma. Obviously, you're really passionate about this. We're all passionate about this team, and we thank you for your time.
Great. And thanks for having us on here. We really need a voice out there, Hanford, and this was a great idea. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Big Dog.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We've only got a few minutes left here, Hanford, but...
I didn't know you could dance.
Oh, You're going to start with the dancing.
I didn't know you could dance. I just didn't know it. You have a little rhythm. So did you get that from your dad or your mom?
You're funny. So my dad used to be a Motown dancer back in the day. It was like one of his gigs, but for real, Papa Kreuz has got some rhythm.
No, wait a minute. Now I met Papa Kreuz. I didn't think Papa Kreuz had that. Wait a minute. Let me shut up. Let me shut up before Papa Kreuz come up here and say, "What do you mean I don't have any rhythm?"
Yeah, just wait. He used to boogie back in the day. Hanford's making fun of me because he saw on Instagram one of my reels I posted for the postseason.
I did.
Getting excited for postseason baseball. I know you got some moves.
Well, you know where my daughter, she said, "Dad, did you see Gabby dancing on Instagram?" And I said, "No." So she brought it to my attention. So that's where I got it from. So I said, "I got to see this."
Okay, I was gonna say I thought you just got really good at Instagram for a minute. I was like, wow, he's really using this thing.
Gabby, what do you think of this team? Though, really,
I'm scared.
It's just
I'm scared because
depressing.
I want us to win at home because we need it so bad. And I hope we do. We're 4.5-point underdogs at home in our own home.
We also want to remind everybody too that every week again we're gonna feature a Browns backers club. So you guys, how do they let us know though? What do we do?
Yeah,
Pat?
social media.
Yeah, guys, tweet at us at Top Dog Show on Twitter, and then you can comment underneath our YouTube videos as well. But Twitter's the place to find us. Tweet at us, and then we'll get in contact.
And also hit Gab myself up on Instagram, and we just let us know because we love you guys, and we don't think you guys get the recognition that you truly deserve, and we're gonna try to bring that to our show.
Yeah, if nothing else, we all commiserate in the same fashion with the same passion for this team. And we want to hear from you. We think it's really cool that you're assembling yourselves and just all that you bring to this fan base. So definitely check us out, and we'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show next week.